Very good morning. We're discussing regarding the valvular heart diseases. So, in part A and part B of the classes, I have discussed regarding the mitral valve stenosis and I have discussed regarding the mitral valve regurgitation. And in this class, I would like to discuss you regarding the mitral valve prolapse. So, coming to the topic mitral valve prolapse, here what is this mitral valve prolapse means here the leaflets instead of staying in the position they are going into the left atrium. So here if you see the picture here, this is the normal heart. So this one is the left atrium, this is the mitral valve. So it is in the position. What is happening? It is guiding the opening here. So what this mitral valve does means it will prevent the entry of blood from the left ventricle into the left atrium. And at the same time it will allow the blood from left atrium to enter into the left ventricle. So you can see the position here. So it is downwards. Since it is downwards, what it will do, it will allow blood from the upper portion of the heart to the lower portion of the part. So here the upper portion of the heart you can consider it as a left atrium, and the lower portion of the heart you can consider as a left ventricle. So since it is in a curved shape, whenever the blood is trying to enter into the left atrium again, so the shape will prevent the re-entry of blood into the left atrium. But during the prolapse, so what is happening, instead of staying in the position here, the leaflets they are protruding into the left atrium, which is mainly allowing to the leakage of ventricular blood into the atrium. So this is, we are calling it as mitral valve prolapse. So here you can see the mitral valve prolapse with regurgitation. So whenever the leaflets are being prolapsed, automatically the regurgitation is occurring, means the backflow of blood from the left ventricle to the left atrium is occurring. So this is called as mitral valve prolapse. So here if you see what is this mitral valve prolapse means, here mitral valve prolapse, it is the structural abnormality of mitral valve leaflets and the pupillary muscles or chordae tendineae. So what these are doing, this chordae tendineae or this pupillary muscles, what these muscles will do means, if you see the picture here clearly, these are the chordae tendineae or otherwise called as pupillary muscles. So they are holding the leaflets in position. But due to the structural abnormality, either it can be the leaflets or either it can be the chordae tendineae, what is happening, the prolapse, instead of holding them back in the position, the leaflet is going into the left atrium, which is called as the mitral valve prolapse. So it is the most common form of valvular heart disease in the United States. So as I am discussing, you can see in the picture here clearly, this is the normal heart, this is the abnormal heart, this is the normal mitral valve position, and this is the prolapsed mitral valve position. So these are the chordae tendineae or pupillary muscles, which are respectively designed to hold the leaflets in position. But when there is structural abnormality, they cannot hold the leaflets in position. The leaflets are going into the atrium, which is resulting in mitral valve prolapse with regurgitation. You can see in the picture here clearly. So this is the left atrium, mitral valve, left ventricle, right ventricle and right atrium. So we are focusing on the left ventricle here. So due to the structural abnormality, malfunctioning of mitral valve allows the backflow of blood into the right atrium, which is causing the progressive enlargement of the left atrium. So this is mitral valve regurgitation. Coming to the etiology, so it is unknown. So there are different types of causes. So any kind of pathogenic mechanism that is mainly present in the mitral valve. Mitral valve prolapse, it can be secondary to the mitral valve stenosis and mitral valve regurgitation. During the mitral valve stenosis and during the regurgitation, there are chances for this mitral valve prolapse. If you see this mitral valve prolapse, so it is mainly occurring in the presence of rudimental mitral valve. So means the mitral valve structural abnormality, when it is present, it can occur, and and if the chordae tendineae are elongated, means if they are longer than they should be, then you can see the mitral valve prolapse. And due to the enlarged mitral annulus, here the right that is attached to the mitral valve leaflets. So if the enlargement is present in the annulus of the mitral valve, it will result in the prolapse. And also here if you see MVP, it is usually benign in nature, but it gives serious complications, and whenever the mitral valve prolapse is leading to the regurgitation or infective endocarditis, it will result in the sudden death and also it will result in the cerebral ischemia. So these are some of the etiological factors mainly for this mitral valve prolapse. Coming to the clinical manifestation, you see the clinical manifestations here, you can find the arrhythmias. So because of the pressure variation, you can find arrhythmias. There will be ventricular tachycardia, and there will be palpitations. You will feel headache and dizziness, and chest pain may be observed. So this is mainly due to the abnormal tension, mainly on the pupillary muscles. So here, if you give anti-anginal treatment also, means if you think that it is if you think it has angina pectoris, and if you started to give the treatment also, it won't get subsided. So for example, for this anti-anginal treatment is nitrate and sorbitrate. If you give these medicines also, the persons won't respond in the mitral valve prolapse. Coming to the management here, mainly we should see that the patient is not getting any kind of cardiac infections, especially endocarditis or rheumatic heart diseases. And you should monitor the patient who are being treated with these beta adrenergic blockers, mainly to control the palpitations. And you should advise the patient to adopt the healthy eating patterns. So they should avoid caffeine. These are the excitatory hormones, because they stimulate and exacerbate any kind of symptoms. Means nothing but as they are excitatory hormones, they stimulate and they will exacerbate. And nextly, you should counsel the patients who are taking the diet pills. So these are acting as a stimulants, mainly to prepare and to exacerbate the symptoms. So you should counsel the patient not to take these diet pills, and you should instruct the patient to take over the counter drug with caution. Whenever a person is taking any kind of drug, they should read the caution, and they should follow as per the physician's order. And actually develop a planned aerobic exercise program for the patient to implement it. So this is some of the management. And coming to the surgical management, we'll go for mitral valve repair or mitral valve replacement in case of severe damage and calcifications. So what you have to teach the patient family means here, teach the patient regarding the importance of antibiotics. So they regarding the importance of antibiotics to prevent the endocarditis, and the persons before, if they are going for any surgical procedure. So if they have this mitral valve prolapse, and if the patient is again going for endocarditis, then they have to go for MVR, or they will go for mitral valve repair or replacement. So nextly, you should advise the family members mainly regarding the eating habits. So if they are taking caffeine, you should say them to stop, and any stimulants which can cause the exacerbate symptoms, they has to be avoided. And patient has to develop and implement what are the exercise program that has been taught to him to maintain the optimal health. And actually, if any patient is having any kind of signs and symptoms, the patient especially with the MVP, mitral valve prolapse, so they should call 108 immediately, so that they will get early treatment and they can be saved from life threatening situation. This is mitral valve prolapse. Hope you understood. It's very easy. Whenever the papillary muscles or the chordae tendineae and the leaflets, if there is any kind of structural abnormality, it will result in the mitral valve prolapse. So instead of staying in place, the valves, the leaflets are entering into the atrium, which will allow regurgitation of the blood, and it will lead to the worsening of the heart system. So this is the mitral valve prolapse. These are some of the clinical manifestations. Hope you understood. Thank you so much for watching. If you like the content, please like, share and subscribe the channel. And if you have any queries, please drop them in the comment box. I'll try to explain in a proper way. If you have any complaints or issues with my teaching, please let me know so that I can correct. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe the channel.